Yo, what's happening guys, King GBL here, and welcome back to some Halloween Cup action. We're showcasing some battles sent into the channel by Grant here, Toad for Smash. Thank you very much Grant for the battles. We have a very unique and interesting team with Skeledirge in the lead, with Greninja on the safe swap, and of course we do have Shadow Sharpedo as the featured Pokemon today, using Waterfall, Poison Fang and Crunch. I was expecting to see it with Bite, but we're going to see how it goes in this cup. There are a lot of Pokemon that would just get absolutely chunked by Waterfall, and of course a lot of Pokemon that resist Bite, so it makes sense that you would go for Waterfall. The opponent's coming into an Azu, which looks like it's a big problem for this team, but Greninja is just an absolute spam machine and hopefully should be able to deal with it here. Anyway guys, welcome on into the video. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Do me a favor guys, drop a like in the video, it helps out a ton. Subscribe to the channel, it is absolutely free. We're only 25 off 3k guys, we're getting very close. And I'm going to be streaming here once again today, or pretty much every day, trying to gain some elo of my own. And finally, if you have any interesting gameplay of your own in the Halloween Cup, feel free to send them in. If you do want some coaching, if you want to showcase a funny team, if you want to showcase a meta line, by all means guys, send them in the description down below. Anyway guys, we've got a Zoomerl here. A very interesting Pokemon for this cup because it does well against Wormadam, does well against Toxicroak and Greninja, and of course Stinky Binky. So I think I'm going to run a Zoomerl today, but of course we're focusing on the Shadow Sharpedo. We're just going to absolutely farm this team down with this thing. In comes Nidoqueen, super effective waterfalls coming through. I definitely would have went straight for a Poison Fang to get these moves chunking, right? Because if you get two of these off, and these are just going to absolutely chunk, look at the waterfalls go through. They would have been absolutely ripping through it. Now this is going to come down to a call. I don't think the opponent actually gets off two moves, but Grant is actually calling it. It is just the Poison Fang, and we're going to farm this thing the whole way down. Back in comes the Zoomerl, they are super low, and at this point guys, we should be able to farm the Azu the whole way down. Skeledirge is an Zoomerl counter confirmed. Typically in this meta, they're running Ice Beam and Player Off, which of course would all be resisted by Skeledirge. I think I'm going to run this today with Hydro Pump, I think it'll be quite good. Hopping into the next battle, Skeledirge versus Toxicroak. This is actually a pretty interesting matchup because Disarming Voice and Shadow Ball are neutral damage, and these Incinerates are absolutely chunking. We do resist the counters, but the opponent's got a Mud Bomb. We're going to let the Mud Bomb go, we actually do live it, and by the looks of things the opponent can't counter us down. We're going to go for this move on the Zoomerl, and I think most likely swap into Sharpedo to get off this Poison Fang damage. As you guys can see now, we're running Poison Fang and Crunch. The opponent will go for a move. This could be a player off, so we are going to respect it here. The opponent is lagging. The opponent is still lagging. In comes the player off, and we do respect it. We're going to go for a Poison Fang here, which again will lower the opponent's defense. And if they let it go, it's going to do pretty heavy damage to the Azu. They do let it go, and that's a Poison Fang, folks. So look at this. We're waterfalling down the Azu. We're going to probably throw up a shield here, respect the player off, and look to take switch and debuff whatever comes in. In comes Caesar, and this time, folks, we do have the Crunch. This will absolutely tear through the Caesar. They respect it, but unfortunately for them, they get the defense drop, and we put through two Incinerates and just absolutely destroy that thing. That was pretty insane. The opponent, did they come in with Toxicroak? This game is super amazing, guys, by the way. I don't know what's going on here. We're getting a lot of interesting lag. We've got invisible Pokemon again. And back in comes Azu, who's going to get Water Shuriken down for the win. That's good games, very well played. Man, Skeledirge looks like a ton of fun in this cup because you can, of course, look to incinerate down the bug types. Caesar, Wormadam, and even Escavalier are quite popular. And as we're seeing in this next matchup, Charjabug is another one that you see everywhere. Super effective fire damage. In comes Greninja, and in comes our own. This is a little bit unfortunate because they're going to outpace us, but the opponent lets us throw the move first, which puts us in a much better position here. Hydro Cannon coming through, that'll do a lot of damage. And I think we just let this go at this point. I do agree, because they could go for a Night Slash. They go for the Night Slash bait. They don't get the boost as well. And at this point, guys, we live the Hydro Cannon, and we should probably get off our own move here. We can look to fire off this move, see what the opponent wants to do, and try to take a shield advantage, or of course get them very low here. The opponent decides to shield it, takes switch advantage, and now we're up 2 shields. We've got Shadow Sharpedo coming through, which of course resists all of the moves, but Sharpedo does not feel like it resists anything. We do come in with Skeledirge here, which I'm not too sure about because these moves are a little bit slow to get to. Thankfully, we do get off this move before we have to give up the second shield, and we should be in a very good position now. We're up a shield with Sharpedo, and even though the showcase is about Sharpedo, I am super impressed with Skeledirge because as you're about to see, this Crobat coming through, Shadow Crobat, is going to get absolutely one-shot by the Shadow Ball. Skelly has got such amazing coverage. It has the Fairy coverage, Shadow Ball, and of course Fire. Very unique Pokemon, and it's definitely very fun to watch. Hopping into the next battle here, we have Frostlass versus Skelly. We are just going to absolutely melt this thing, and in comes Umbreon. We do come into our own Greninja here, which is a slightly positive matchup for us. I probably would have liked to chip it, honestly, because these foul plays do start adding up after a while. We go for CMP time on what could probably be another foul play. The opponent should be going for a last resort. 2 Hydro Cannons will pretty much take this out, and we should be in a very good position. I think we still even have a last resort from this range, but as you guys are seeing, the foul plays are absolutely chunking. Umbreon is just so thick. I was showcasing it in the video, of course, yesterday or the day before, and it is just such a good Pokemon. We go for our CMP tie on the second Hydro Cannon. If the opponent shields once, they're going to have to shield twice, and that Hydro Cannon, of course, would look to take them out. I don't mind even just coming in for the farm down with Skelly here. Yeah, I like this, actually, because, again, we're up 2 shields. The opponents are fighting for switch advantage, and Skelly can just go on an absolute rampage. But we're going to come in with Sharpedo here, and look to basically eat whatever they want to throw. This should just be a foul play. We are going to respect it, though, even though resisted, because, again, Sharpedo does not know the meaning of resisted. In comes an Alolan Ninetales, and we are just going to absolutely obliterate this thing. Poison Fang coming through, that doesn't quite take them out. And yeah, it's time for the Skelly sweep. What are you going to do? Come in with Frostlass against the Fire type? This is just absolutely game over. Again, Skeledirge putting on an absolute show here. I thought this showcase would be more focused around Sharpedo, but this thing is just putting on an absolute clinic. We're going to go for the undercharge. I'm not sure if we're just BMing here, or if we expected that to take out the opponent frozen move. Do they know? Does the opponent know? The Water Ball does not take out. That's a good game well played. So yeah, Skeledirge is looking really strong, actually. We are seeing it up against Azu's. As long as Azu doesn't have Hydro Pump, it's pretty decent. And again, look, here's another situation where Disarming Voice is really good. We're resisting the counters. The opponent could potentially go for foul play. We're going to call it here. Grant absolutely loves a good call. We're going to go for a 1 and throw for good timing. By the way, guys, a lot of these battles are played at a lower elo. Grant does not use any meta Pokemon, like he doesn't use Metachams, doesn't use anything meta. He streams in our Discord sometimes. I see him using things like Ivysaur and lots of very spicy Pokemon. So it's good to see that, you know, he has some very good mechanics as well. The 1 and throw on the Incinerate against a 2-turn move is very good there. In comes Ariados, and we're going to look to basically just waterfall this thing the whole way down. They're going to go for a lunge, which of course would be super effective, and it will lower our attack. We're going to go for this move right here. I probably would just go for the Poison Fang, because I'm pretty sure they shield anything from Sharpedo. We go for a very nice catch, but this catch could be very risky, because it's going to look to almost take out the Greninja here. The Greninja did not enjoy that whatsoever. However, we are setting up Sharpedo for the sweep. Hopefully we can farm them down before they debuff us again. We do. The opponent's going to come back in with Marowak, and this is going to be game over, folks. We have a shield, and I think we just reached the move. This Crunch should just about one-shot this thing. We're going to see how it goes here. I think this does pretty much one-shot. It does. Game over, well played. Sharpedo going for the sweep, and that's what you absolutely love to see. I'm not sure if Sharpedo would actually be any good, but guys, Skeledirge, just look at this, guys. Look at this. It's just going to absolutely rip through this. And look, you could have even stayed in front of Disarming Voice. That is what's so good about this Pokemon. That coverage is amazing. Ariados coming through. I'm not going to do the most damage, even to a very glassy Pokemon like Greninja. We're going to go for back-to-back Hydro Cannons here, most likely, which actually will look to take out the Mandibuzz. Greninja is so spammy, hits like an absolute truck, and definitely a fun Pokemon in this meta. The opponent decides to want to get off another move, and I think we might even get off one more move with Greninja here. Yeah, we're resisting these Snarls. The opponent's going to have to double shield once again, which will put us in a position with Skeledirge with 2 shields and a Sharpedo with 2 shields. Pretty much guaranteed win at this point, right? Unless they have something absolutely ridiculous in the back, I think we should be in a good spot here. We're going to come in for the Waterfall down, assuming the opponent just instantly throws the move. Yeah, I thought it might be a Dark Pulse, but we are going to respect it and just be safe here. This could be the Aerialist. We're going to double shield here. Like I said, Sharpedo does not know the meaning of resisted here, and in comes Greninja. We're going to go for the Poison Fang, and this is going to absolutely tear through the Greninja. I would have liked to see in the Shadow, it would have done a lot more damage, but I think maybe Grant's Sharpedo is single moved. Let's have a look here. In comes Skeledirge. We'll go for a 1 and throw here. Thankfully, the opponent does not get to another move. Greninja always seems to have a move. You think you're fine, you think it's dry, but it just never is. We're going to farm down this. However, the opponent does get to a Night Slash, which is a little bit... Oh, they go for Trailblaze. The opponent must not be on Night Slash, which is kind of insane. And back in comes this thing. We're going to YOLO off the Incinerate, and that's going to be good games well played. Honestly, guys, after watching these battles, I'm becoming more and more convinced to run this Pokemon. We go for a nice safe swap here, because of course we have 2 answers to Marowak in the back. And Toxapex is good against Greninja, but if you get a boost here in this first or second Night Slash, it actually gets very, very close. These Night Slashes start chunking. Generally, as Toxapex here, you try to farm it down. Oh, we do get the boost, and now we're in prime position here to actually take switch advantage. This is just a Brine, but it will... Oh, they go for the Sludge Wave, wow. That could have been just a Brine. Usually, you don't have to go for Sludge Wave. And we're going to go for 1 and throw, and we definitely take switch advantage here. We go for 1 and throw once again. Like I said, guys, Grant has got very good mechanics here. And we're going to get another shield off the opponent, and we're going to throw this instantly, because at this point, guys, you don't go for good timing, you just go to get the move off. And what should be a counter ends up getting us a shield advantage and switch advantage. Back in comes Marowak, and we're going to get the Sharpedo on the Marowak, and the Skeledirge on whatever's in the back. In comes Sharpedo, it's going to start ripping through it. In comes Greninja, and we're going to go for the Poison Fang. I think you sort of have to stay in here, unfortunately. and try to just fully sweep this with Sharpedo. That done so much damage. I think 1 or 2 more waterfalls, maybe 2 waterfalls will take this out. 1, 2, yeah, with the debuff it takes it out, and back in comes Marowak. We go for the catch on what most likely is going to be a Bone Club, which is quite funny because it's going to be super effective, but Skelly doesn't mind. Skelly does not mind, and guys, they're going for another move, but I think their only sort of option there was to go for an overfarm. However, we would have got to the move, and that's going to be game over. Sharpedo is going to absolutely rip through it, and that's good games well played. I think water types in this meta are quite strong, so seeing a waterfall user is quite interesting here. Skeledirge versus Azu, very negative lead. Let's see what we decide to swap into. We're going to stay in for a minute here, because I guess, yeah, you're sort of triple weak to Azu. The opponent gives us a full free Incinerate, which is amazing, and we're going to let the first move go. As mentioned, they're usually running Ice Beam and Player Off, so pretty safe for Skeledirge here, except for the fast move pressure. Shadow Ball absolutely chunks, and we're going to go for another Shadow Ball here. This should pretty much get them very close to knockout, so we might be forcing a shield off Azu, and at this point, guys, we take shield advantage and come into Greninja. We do sort of have to respect the player off here. The opponent does go for it, and we can go for a very, very nice overfarm here. Hydro Cannon will be very close to taking out here. Hydro Cannon from a Greninja hits like a truck, doesn't quite take them out, and we're going to go for the CMP. Could have went for Night Slash, of course, to hopefully get the boost, but we just want to get rid of this. The opponent actually shields it, which is not the play, and looks like we're going to trust in our Sharpedo. Sharpedo up a shield with Skeledirge for a potential sack swap, or maybe even getting to a move. Could be quite huge here. The only thing I could see that would be a very big problem would be, oh, it's Nidoqueen. The opponent does not have an answer to Sharpedo, and we go for the Poison Fang catch. Very impressive catch right there. Free turn moves versus 2 is a little bit tricky to catch on, so very, very nice catch. We're going to go for the Crunch here on the Caesar, which will definitely, well, I thought it would one-shot it, to be fair, but it might as well have, and the Nidoqueen actually took us out there. That's super unfortunate. I think we played that match very well, but yeah, good games to the opponent. That's very tough. In comes another amazing lead, and in comes Drapion. We're going to come in with Greninja to basically try to outspam it, unless they're running Sludge Bomb, and we do resist all of these moves. Crunch coming through. Once again, Greninja does not really know the meaning of resisted, and we're going to get off a Hydro Cannon. I think we shield and farm down here. We're going to let this go. Crunch doesn't quite take us out, but I think, yeah, we do take switch anyway, which is good. A shield and farm down could have been quite nasty because we get off multiple Hydro Cannons on whatever decides to come back in, which is never pleasant. Yeah, it would have been Galvantula. Galvantula definitely would have shielded up, but I think this works out perfectly because you've got 2 shields for Sharpedo. In comes Skelly, and in comes Golbat. This time we're going to come straight into the Sharpedo. We're banking the energy, and yeah, this should be basically game over at this point. You could have potentially YOLO'd off the Shadow Ball to get the shield off them, but I think we're saving our energy for the Galvantula. Sharpedo should be able to deal with us here. We're going to 2-shield here to get rid of this thing. I think that's where throwing off a move first would have been a little bit nice, because I don't think we get off 2 moves here against Galvantula, unfortunately. That 1 Volt Switch probably takes us out. We get 1 shield back, and we get a CMP tie here, unfortunately. The opponent will probably go for, they go for a Discharge. I think we actually should outpace here at this point. This should be dry at this stage, and we're only 2 away for another move. These Incinerates are going to chunk. We do get to the Disarming Voice and the Shadow Ball at the same time, but I think this Disarming Voice with the debuff should be enough to take them out, and that's going to be good games. I think at some point in the future, guys, we're going to have a community day for Skeledirge. What move do you guys think it should get? I think a new Fire Fast move would be really cool. Will-O-Wisp is a move I've heard talked about quite a lot. You could give it a different charge move like Blast Burn. I'm not sure how much Blast Burn helps it, because I think the really good and unique thing about this Pokemon is definitely the coverage with Disarming Voice and Shadow Ball. I think that's what actually makes that Pokemon good. By the way, guys, Grant putting on a clinic for us here, catching the Hydro Pump on Greninja. You low-key sort of have to try and deal with it with Skelly, but this Azu just happens to be on Hydro Pump and Ice Beam. So you're getting a lot of chip through with this, but you really just have to watch out for this Hydro Pump now. I think you can most likely come in and go for a Shadow Ball in this and see if you want to let go. If the opponent does stay in and like really force shields, it could be a little bit awkward. Yeah, we go straight for the move here, not letting them get a chance to get up to another move. The opponent shields it, wow. So they really do want to hold on to Azu. I think they might double shield this here, and if they do, I think we're going to go for the Sharpedo sweep. The opponent double shields it, and we're going to go for another Hydro Pump catch. Does the opponent go straight for it this time? I guess it can only be Ice Beam or Hydro Pump. Ice Beam does like 50% of this thing, and in comes Caesar. These resisted Bullet Punches are looking like charms at this point. Night Slash coming through, do they get the boost? They don't, and we do get off the Crunch. The opponent has no shields remaining, of course they double shielded Azu, so we definitely get rid of this here. If they come back in with Azu, oh, they do come in with Wormadam. Not very effective moves. Can we get to the Crunch in time? We do actually get to the Crunch, but of course we settle for this move because I probably would have done the same thing. We didn't think we were getting into it. We're going to come in here with the Skellimeister, look to farm this the whole way down, and at that point, guys, we should have a move for the Azu, and that should look to be good games. Yep, we have the Shadow Ball loaded. In comes Azu, Shadow Ball coming through, and that's going to be good games. Guys, thank you very much to Grant for sending in the battles. Very much enjoyed the Sharpedo, and honestly, the Skeledirge gameplay was top class here. As you're seeing in this final battle, we're getting Venusaur. But if you guys enjoyed today's video, please drop a like, it's very much appreciated. Subscribe to the channel, and if you want me to showcase your battles, if you're looking for, like I said, coaching, or if you want to showcase some fun battles, some meta teams, it would very much help me out and allow me to upload a lot more gameplay over Halloween. Once again, guys, thank you for all the subs in the channel. We're 25 off 3k. Hopefully we can hit it quite soon. Big thank you, and I very much appreciate the support. Anyway, guys, have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll catch you guys tomorrow for a new stream and a new video. And once again, big shout out to Grant for the battles. Alright guys, catch you later, and have a good one.